2025 is going to be a very exciting year. That is because I am starting a brand new exterior cleaning business. Now, I've purchased quite a lot of things already for this business, including the van in the background. Just there, inside that van, what I need to install is a leisure battery and a split charger. That is because some of the items I'm going to be using for the business will be running off a separate battery. So today's task is to get the split charger and the leisure battery installed inside my van. So let's make a start and let's get fired in. Hey, what up, you're right. My name is Tom Richardson. If you haven't already, please do like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. So like I said, today's task is getting this leisure battery and split charger installed inside my van. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing. This is the Leisure Marine battery. It's 100 ampage. There we go, 12 volts. It runs on a lower frequency than a normal car battery. That is a normal car battery. That's more of a to get you going. That's more of a to keep you going, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's ideal for like a kettle or a phone or any of the items that I'm going to be using for my business. Because the battery in the Vauxhall Vivaro is under the bonnet, I don't want to be running the leisure battery right at the bottom end. I want it as close to the front end of the vehicle as I can, purely because I've only got that amount of cable and I don't want to run out of that, which would be an absolute bugger. So let me show you and tell you quickly how the whole process works. That's your alternator in your car or your van. That's the battery in your car or your van. That charges that. You then want to get power from there and this into your leisure battery, but what you don't want to do is drain all the power or not get any power going into there and everything into there, because then your vehicle will not start. So it just split charges it once. There's enough juice in there, it then pumps it into there. Simple as. So all you got to do, connect your positive up, your negative up. That then goes to your split charger just there on the back. So you'll have an in from that side. That's your negative. You then connect that one to the positive on there. And that is it. That is as simple and as basic as you can get. So let me show you what you get. You get your positive and your negative cables. You get the splitter itself. You get some instructions which are very, very, very basic. Don't get no basic than that. Inside the box, get some sticky pads for your tie wraps. Fuses, connections. There you go, little fuse box. Some big fuses that go directly onto your wires. As you can see, and you also get some main cut-offs if you want to stop the power going from your battery, your leisure battery, once it's powered up directly to whatever you're using inside your vehicle. You can just click it off, so you're not getting anything. Nice little safety feature. You're not getting any power to anything in your van. So that's what's in the box, and I got this off eBay for £33.33. So not bad for 33 quid. Let's get it together and let's see what's crack-a-lacking. That's the battery and engine bay. When I put my posi on, I want to try and get my fuse as close to my positive output as possible. So I'm going to get it very, very close to that. I'm going to then run the red cable, the positive cable, through there, and then all the wiring leads inside the cab just there, so I can poke it through, and then it is going to come out in the passenger side footwell. Just, you probably can't see it, just under there. I'll then run it along the floor, and I'm going to put the battery underneath the passenger seat. Now it's pretty snug, but that is where I'm going to be putting it, and then all the other wiring I'm going to be mounting on the inside of here. That's the bulkhead of the van, as you can see. This was added with all the racking because this van used to be filled full of racking. It's an XBT van, so if I put everything behind there, it's going to be protected. So everything, when I do put something in, it's not going to get knocked, it's not going to get banged, it's not going to get damaged. So everything I'm going to put in there. I've also got a little consumer unit that I'm going to be putting in there as well to run and feed all the items that I'm going to be using. It will not and should not get damaged. So that is the plan. Let me just show you where I am. So I've got the cable through relatively easily enough. All I just did was follow where the bonnet cable goes. Went in next to that. So I've got the cable in. It goes. I've fed it under the floor. That's where the leisure battery is going, underneath the seat. The cable's in. Now I did want to mount the split charger in here, this section, but I've just had to go underneath. I'm just going to put it there. It is out of the way. I still want to be able to see it. I did think about putting it where the battery is, but I want to be able to see where it is, so I can push the button. This is a little button on front, probably to power it on and to test it and do whatever. So that's where it's going to go. So all I've got to do now is cut that, put a connection on, put that onto there, and away we go. Let me show you how to make and put a connection onto that. It's like showing you in the kit earlier. You do get all the connections, so you've nothing to worry about, and you only need basic tools, so don't be too scared. So probably some pliers and maybe a knife if you've not got any cable strippers to strip the cable. So all I'm going to do now, make sure I've got enough cable running up to where the unit's going to go. I am then going to cut that cable, snip, where you go, there it is. Now I have got some cable strippers, so I'm going to strip enough off so I can get the end on. So you do get some heat shrink, red for your positive, black for your negative. You can get it over them fittings, but for me it's just easier just to slide that on first. Next thing you're going to want to do is get your cable into there, force that in as far as you can go. Now if you've got some proper crimps, you can use them, makes it a lot easier, but if not, I'll just show you. Just get some pliers, then all you're going to do, put it in, give it a squeeze just to tighten it up against that cable. You can do it a couple of times, one at the front, in a couple of places, there you go, just so you know that it's not going to go absolutely anywhere. You could swing off of that if you wanted. Next thing to do is get that heat shrink on. You can use a cigarette lighter if you've got one. If not, you can use a heat gun like me, which is a lot safer. So let me fire my heat gun up, warm that up, and it just shrinks it around it. That's what it's called, heat shrink. The heat just bonds it to it. Make sure I don't set myself on fire. There we go, and that is a connection done. So I need to make another one of these up with a fuse in, that's going to go from here, your split charger, into my leisure battery. So then that makes the full connection to be able to charge them up. So that's what I've got to do now. Now you do get some fuses supplied with the kit, but I'm using some different fuses that I've managed to get my hands on, because I know I can get an abundance worth of these fuses. So that's what I'm going to be using for the but like I said, you do in the kit, you do get some of these fuses. So the inline fuse is in, got the ends on. As you can see, that's going to join up to the positive terminal on that battery. There we go. So this is the excess cable that's coming through. I now need to get an end on, get a fitting on, so I can put it to the split charger. So what I've done, I've got one end already on the negative. I'll feed that through that slot just there next to the positive, which will then go to the negative on the leisure battery. What I've done, I've taken one of the bolts out that's holding the bulkhead in. I'll take some of that paint off just there so I get a nice good negative connection. That slips into that. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That'll then go onto there, creating my negative. So then when I plug this in, I can also then lead the negative that's coming out of here onto there as well. So I've got a nice negative connection and everything is close together. So I've got the paint off, all the terminals are ready to go. Next thing to do is to add the old split charger to it, and as you can see underneath, that's the back side of it. So you've got your start battery, we need to connect that to there. That's the battery coming from your van and your alternator. The next one is the battery you're going to be charging, which is my leisure battery, so that's going to get connected to there. So let's connect them up. slight change of plan. So that's where the split charger was going to go. I've had to move it to there. If it was there, it'd have been upside down, and I didn't really want to read them numbers upside down. So literally taken 5 minutes just to move it from there to there. The cables are in, negatives on. All I've got to do now is wire it up under there somehow. And I have got a strap to strap that battery in to stop it from moving about. So let's wire it up under there. So that's the battery. I've got the terminals on that they provide you with. You get little screws on, spin them off. Got the old negative on. Is that on? And then we'll do the same with the posi. So, moment's truth, everything is connected for the laser battery. I've connected the positive to the main battery in the van. So let's fire it up and see if it blows all these fuses. 3, 2, 1. So that's not started melting yet, which is a bonus. Oh, and there we go, we have some sort of power underneath. Yes! Everything's working as it should. So there is a couple of settings, so you've got manual and auto. If I read this right, then for manual mode, you want the blue light on. You just click it. When you want to turn it on to charge your battery, hold it for 3 seconds. That should then put it into auto mode, so it automatically charges it. So when it drops below a certain voltage, it'll kick in, and then it'll start charging the battery. That's how I've read it. Whether or not that's right, I don't know. So what I will do, maybe on a separate video, now everything is working as it should, I will then install this little consumer unit that all my items in here, look at all those boxes that I've got that I need to plug in to there. But I will be installing that little breaker switch as well, so I can just turn it off. So your power will come from your leisure battery straight into there, positive and a negative. Then I'll run from there into the unit, which has got all little spades in there, so I can run a feed for all the little items that I'm going to be using, so I can turn it off whenever I need to. So yeah, happy days. But it's all running, working absolutely fine. So that is it. I've finished, I've got it in, smashed it out within a couple of hours, and that is filming as well. So if you are doing this on your own, you could probably easily do it in an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Not a problem whatsoever. I have got to add other things to it. It is not by all means finished with regards to my business and all the items that I need to put in the van. That will be on a separate video, so check those videos out if you haven't already. They're going to be coming thick and fast in 2025, so like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I will see you next time. See you later. Ta-da. Bye bye.